So first we go to Board of Engineers Malaysia. Board of Engineers Malaysia. So siapa? Who is actually this Board of Engineers Malaysia? So under Act 138, so this act is Registration of Engineers Act 1967. The latest revision is 2015. So this act is to provide the registration of engineers, sole proprietorship, partnership and body corporate. All these three items is basically the engineering consultant in providing professional engineering services and purposes connected therewith . So bawah section 3 tu, this act dia memberi kuasa so to establish a board to be called Board of Engineers, which shall be a body corporate with perpetual succession and common seal which may be sue or may be sued . So this Board of Engineers ni is basically an independent body corporate yang dia bukannya kerajaan, dia bukannya swasta, dia macam dia act as a regulator on behalf of this act . And BEM is under the Ministry of Works Jabatan Ministry of Works and was established sometime in 1972 . Okay, so any registration engineers, PE, PEPC, technologies, engineering technology semua akan berkait rapat dengan Board of Engineers . So this is the registration of engineers dengan registration of engineers regulation. This one you can download free. I ada tinggal link. I think Dr. Anissa will share you the presentation after this. Kalau you tak dapat, you can download this from the BEM punya website . It's free . Okay. So siapa BEM? BEM vision is an authoritative body of international standing that regulates engineering practice. So dia regulator maknanya dia policy maker untuk semua engineering practice kat Malaysia ni . Macam mana you sepatutnya buat engineering, how is supposed to be presented. So they are the regulator. So they have the final say . So their mission is to regulate engineering services conforming to professional ethics and international best practices in ensuring public safety. So this is the ultimate which is public safety . So no consultant in Malaysia or anybody who wants to practice engineering in Malaysia, they cannot just simply design ikut mak bapak dia ataupun suka hati dia. Tak ada . So they are governance . So they are governed under BEM . So this is the structure of the BEM . So dia ada board members, consists of 17 board members. So ada public sector, private sector yang join . So saya tak go detail sangat on ni . Saya tak sure benda ni keluar tak soalan dalam exam korang . Dia tanya berapa members ke ada dalam Alright, so the primary roles for BEM is to facilitate the registration of engineers, which covers PE, PEPC, engineering technologies, PEP, PEPC and also graduate engineers, engineering technologies, inspector of works, then the last three ni, sole propriety, partnership and body corporate. These are basically consultant in providing professional engineering service . So semua orang kena register dengan BEM . Then to regulate professional conduct and practice, ni basically bila ada code of ethics, when there's industrial punya accident ke apa, kalau it's related to engineering punya professional practice, then BEM will come into the picture . Maybe untuk menyaman geng-geng ni . So dia untuk mendakwa geng-geng ni yang dia buat salah bila ada bangunan runtuh ke, ada crane macam baru ni crane dekat projek Suke projek Suke jatuh sampai mati tiga orang . So ultimately this is mana-mana engineering design, this is your ultimate goal . You must safeguard the safety and interest of the public. Kita memang design bagi cantik, tapi yang penting keselamatan. Itu yang ultimate goal of any engineering any kind of work . Tak kisahlah you engineer ke bukan engineer, safety must be your prime target . So this is BEM function yang kita akan go through one by one. So dia ada banyak maintain the register, process application, fixing the scale, to hear and determine dispute. Yang ni yang siapa yang tak puas hati dengan engineer tu ataupun consultant tu, they are able to complain to BEM and BEM will buka case. Kalau betul ada case, then dia akan buat satu ni tribunal ataupun kalau teruk maybe kena ke mahkamah . So to become a stakeholder in engineering contract, kadang-kadang kat Malaysia ni kontrak ni tak begitu kemas. Sorry to say for engineers in Malaysia, kontrak ni memang dia tak begitu kemas dari segi knowledge in contract . So kadang-kadang bila dia buat kerja, dia buat, tapi tak lupa, PO, purchase order tak keluar, so you nak claim susah. There is a way for you to claim, tapi bila you don't have that enough knowledge on the contract, so this is where BM, dia one of the avenue untuk you claim semua ni, BM ni boleh jadi stakeholder lah, untuk mendengar, untuk pegang duit semua ni sampailah ke case to settle lah, dan dia akan bagi duit tu kepada orang yang sepatutnya dapat lah, gitu lah. Okay, then to employ any person to assist the board, to provide facilities to promote CPD, continuing professional development. Basically ni engineers kena continue study lah every year, 25 jam to 50 hours annually. And then appoint committee to conduct PAE. This is professional assessment examination. So, and then for universities, macam universities, college semua ni, BM dia akan appoint EAC. So this EAC yang akan tentukan lah, contohnya bila UNIMAT keluar degree you, adakah dia cukup mencukupi untuk meet the EAC punya requirement lah. Ada cukup tak untuk register sebagai electrical ataupun elektronik ataupun dan sebagainya lah, ataupun teknologi kan. So tengok kadang lah. And then to determine and regulate the conduct and ethics of engineering profession, and to do any other things lah as required by the act. So number one is simple je, dia nak maintain register. Basically dia nak simpan, dia nak tahulah siapa, who is the professional engineer, who is the graduate engineer. Part C last time kita ada temporary engineer, now dah tak ada dah. Part D engineering consultancy practice or consultant accredited checkers, PEPC, engineering technologies, and also inspector of works lah. So whoever yang register, so BM, one of the function is to maintain dia punya register, nama, alamat dan whatever details lah berkaitan. And they will also make sure that whether your cert tu is valid ataupun tidak lah. So you kena make sure every year tu you kena renew. Siapa yang jadi PE lah, siapa jadi PE kena renew. Kalau tak renew, I think after 31st March, kalau tak renew, nak reinstate kena bayar dalam 1,200. Kalau after berapa months, you kena ambil balik all the exam lah untuk jadi balik PE. So this is one of the function lah. Second is to process the application for registration. This one, siapa yang nak register as a graduate engineer, PE, PEPC semua, so they will do the processing and assign all the test, ni lah examiners, semua tu lah. Okay, and they are also the one who will determine lah. So I think for most of the Malaysian universities, for electrical punya course, most of Malaysian universities dia dah liaise dengan EAC. So bila go to, even they also dah liaise dengan BM. So bila dia pergi ke BM, mana most of the students yang ada register ni, bila you register sebagai graduate engineer, 100% lah I would say you akan register direct as a electrical graduate engineer. Tapi there are certain universities kan yang orang pergi belajar kat Russia, US, Amerika, UK semua tu, bila balik tu certain credits tak cukup, so BM mungkin tak akan bagi dia sebagai electrical walaupun dia adalah Bachelor of Science in Electrical lah. So this is all under the power of BM lah. So dia ada dia punya cara lah, macam mana dia determine lah credit hour semua tu lah, dengan courses yang you kena ambil as a minimum. Number D is to fix the scale of fees. Scale of fees ni basically how much actually this consultant, bila kita buat professional engineering service kan, kita buat design untuk klien untuk ni, berapa banyak sebenarnya kita boleh claim lah daripada ni. Contohnya dia adalah for a certain amount up to 1 million, boleh charge up to 3-4% of the contract value. Above that, so BM will fix the scale lah. Kalau tak fix the scale, memang mungkin biasanya memang mahal lah. So this one is also to regulate the market lah for the engineering punya cost.
Rosam, Suan, boleh saya tanya?
Ya.
Saya Reza, kerja tahun 3.
Ya.
Saya nak tanya, apa nama berkenaan yang tadi akademik ni kan? Kalau kata student tu graduan teknologi engineering, akan boleh daftar BM kan?
Dia akan tengok dulu. Kalau teknologi, so far lah. So far kalau teknologi, memang dia tengok teknologi. Sebab dia, contohnya macam electrical ni, sebab saya pun salah satu case macam dia, tapi bukan case teknologi lah. So dia ada certain course lah yang you kena ambil. Contohnya kata you nak register sebagai graduate engineer as electrical kan. So you kena ambil certain topics lah, macam electromagnetism, electric machines, electrical power system study, then ada few lagi lah. So kalau credit hours dalam you punya 4 year course tu tak cukup, so dia mungkin takkan bagilah. So sama ada dia akan kata you technologist, you kena go as a technologist. Kalau you still nak pursue towards graduate engineer, you have to go for extra course. Means sama ada you kena tambah course lain lah. Mana ambil part time dekat mana-mana universiti tapi you kena discuss dengan BM lah. BM akan cakap you tak cukup, contohnya power system 1 and 2. So you kena cari tak kisah mana-mana universiti, ambil power system 1 and 2, lepas tu represent balik. Tu satu cara lah. Second cara ialah you ambil masters. Masters dalam power electrical. Tapi walaupun you nak ambil masters, please confirm dulu dengan BM sama ada power masters tu you kena mencukupi tak. Sebab dulu saya elektronik. So masa saya nak convert ke electrical, saya ada ambil course lah dekat Unit 10. Tapi dalam course saya tu ada satu student umur dalam 45 lah. Dia senior manager TMB masa tu. Tapi dia dah ambil masters. Saya tanya kenapa you dah ambil masters, kena ambil this course. Sebab dia kata masters dia tak cukup. Dia kena ambil power system 2 masa tu. Sebab masa masters tu mungkin dia buat benda macam renewable energy ke something like that lah. So dia apa-apa pun kena clarify dengan BM lah. Tu dua cara lah. Cara ketiga saya tak sure masih ada lagi ke tak lah. Dulu IEM dia ada conduct, dia panggil IEM Examinations Part 2. But that was maybe about 10 years ago I heard. So now I'm not sure. Tengok kat website macam dah tak ada dah. So dulu you kena ambil course, belajar sendiri, ambil exam sendiri. Then kalau pass, then you present ke BM kata you dah pass this course lah. Tapi apa-apa pun, nombor satu kena clarify dengan BM which subject yang you actually tak cukup. Kalau you boleh ambil part time 2-3 subjek tu, ambil je lah kat mana-mana universiti undergrad. Tapi kalau kena ambil masters, kena ambil masters lah. So that is the only thing lah yang I tahu lah, cara-cara untuk convert daripada teknologis ke ataupun non-electrical untuk register sebagai graduate electrical lah. Harap tu boleh menjawab soalan lah. Okay.
Rusam, kalau Bachelor Technologies Engineering Elektrik, dia boleh masuk BM tak? Tak boleh tak?
Rasa tak boleh. Kalau nak memang you kena check dengan you punya registrar universiti tu whether dia ada buat some liaison tak dengan BM in terms of determining the course ni memang cukup tak untuk as a graduate engineer. Kalau tak, memang you have to go through ni lah, which is technologies, currently under MBOT lah, MBOT, Ministry of Board of Technologies kan, Malaysia Board of Technologies.
Okay, faham. Terima kasih.
Okay, yang kelima, BM will act to hear and determine dispute lah on professional conduct and ethics. So ethics ni dalam rules yang tadi saya tunjuk warna buku warna biru tadi kan. So dalam tu dia cakap lah ethics tu. So siapa-siapa boleh komplain lah pasal PE, pasal PEPC, pasal grad engineer, pasal consultant kepada BM. So BM will establish a committee to determine whether case tu valid. Kalau valid, then dia akan proceed accordingly lah with the professional conduct. And then will be a stakeholder. So in a contract, professional engineer services when requested. So mungkin kadang-kadang klien ni dia tak percaya dengan consultant. So dia boleh engage BM to become a stakeholder lah. So dia stakeholder ni basically dia tolong pegang duit lah. Tolong pegang duit ke apa. So sampai dia settle kerja barulah lepas BM kata okay, klien dah berpuas hati, dia pun release lah duit tu kepada klien lah. Ataupun klien ada buat kerja-kerja tak profesional, nak kena bayar balik ke klien, so dia akan save some money for the client lah, something. So that's for stakeholder. And then BM also is to promote learning and education including continuous professional development lah. Okay, so this one CPD normally applies untuk ni lah, untuk inspector of works, PE dengan PEPC lah. So PE, contoh sebagai PE, you kena maintain about 25 hours of CPD setahun. Untuk PEPC 50 jam setahun. Dia bunyi macam kena study banyak kan, tapi senang je. Pergi seminar pun dia kira berapa jam. You dengar talk pun dia kira. So memang akan cukup lah setakat 25 jam ke 50 jam setahun okay. So then bila you renew tu, you akan update lah dalam sistem CPD apa yang you buat for that past year. And then this EF, Engineering Education and Qualification, BM through EAC, they will conduct accreditation of engineering degree program lah. Macam I think Unimap memang they go for that lah. Sebab dia pun even Unimap pun buat PE punya course macam ni. So EAC will come do some evaluation. So dia ada dia punya standard lah kan, engineering accreditation punya standard tu. That's why one of the requirement is at least 3 of your lecturers must be IR lah. Kalau fakulti electrical lah, 3 orang kena at least 3 IR electrical lah. Barulah dia kata tu engineering accredited punya program. Okay, then BM through EAC dia akan use as a guide the list accredited program leading to PE lah, ataupun chartered engineer. So this is only for local university lah, for Malaysian. So for those yang belajar overseas, memang bila dia come back, they will sometimes dia lepas dapat je apa disiplin yang dia nak, tapi kadang-kadang dia tak dapat. Contohnya dia buat electrical tapi dia dapat sebagai elektronik. Nasib lah dah pergi belajar universiti, itulah nasib dia. That is the policy lah in Malaysia. Okay, apa lagi sini tak ada. And then to regulate the conduct and ethics of engineering profession, ni macam kita cerita tadi lah. Kalau ada masalah ke apa, dia akan regulate the conduct, buat build up the case, investigate the case betul ke tak. Okay, so nak make sure engineering practice kat Malaysia ni adalah bersih lah. Tak kisahlah rasuah ke, salah design ke, tak puas hati dengan bos, pergi design under design ke konkret tu, patutnya pakai grade M40, dia pergi buat grade M20 ke, contoh lah kan. Okay, and then doing the necessary to carry out lah. Ni any other things yang tak specify dalam item A sampai F, so tapi dah ternyata di dalam akta dan rules tadi, so that is under the power of BEM lah to practice that provision. So registration with BEM. So this is from Registration of Engineers Act, REA 1967, yang kita tunjuk buku biru mula-mula tadi tu. So no person shall employ a person or a sole proprietorship or a partnership or a body corporate other than a PE with practicing certificate or engineering consultancy practice lah to perform professional engineering service. So what it says here is that kalau betul-betul by law lah yang boleh buat practice to deliver to the public ni, cuma those yang ada PEPC, then of course consultant lah, sebab dalam consultant memang akan ada PEPC lah. Okay, tetapi dia ada bagi kelonggaran jugalah. So once you graduate nanti after you dah graduate after 4th year, first thing in mind, katalah you memang tak tahu you nak buat apa dengan degree kan. You nak jual burger dulu ke, you nak pergi jual public mutual ke, you nak pergi jual mamasak ke kan. You tak tahu lagi hala tuju hidup selepas graduate kan. Sebab lepas graduate you kata you nak enjoy setahun. Enjoy, tak apa, lantak pergi lah. Tapi make sure hari pertama you graduate tu, dapat transcript school, terus register dengan BEM. 3 tahun, 4 tahun lagi you tak tahu, you akan kembali ke electrical lah kan. Sebab banyak complication dan procrastination akan berlaku lah. So that is ni lah. So siapa-siapa nanti once you grad, whether you electrical ke chemical, once you graduate nanti, day 1 dapat transkrip, dapat degree cert tu, terus register dengan BEM. You nak kerja apa dulu tak kisah, tapi register dulu. Nanti barulah lepas you dah kerja, baru you akan dapatlah hidayah ke apa, macam ke mana hala tuju hidup dan kerjaya tu lah. Okay. Okay, and then professional engineer, so no person other than PE. Kalau you nak buat kerja-kerja engineering service, you kena PE lah. Sorry for graduate engineer tadi saya tak tambah So any employment yang memerlukan dia to do or perform professional engineering services must be registered as a graduate engineer lah. So okay, and then for PEPC, kalau beza PEPC dengan ni, PE dia boleh buat perform professional engineering service. PEPC extra dia boleh practice, lepas tu dia boleh jual lah, boleh charge. PE boleh buat tapi dia tak boleh nak charge lah. By law lah, ni by law lah. By law, so dia tak boleh nak charge. Kalau buat lillahi ta'ala lah. Bagi for free lah. Tapi bila PEPC, kalau dia menyaman orang dalam court ke, dia buat servis kepada klien ke, dia boleh claim, dia boleh keluar, boleh ni lah, hantar invoice semua untuk claim lah. So this is the biggest difference lah between PE dengan PEPC. So basically kalau you nak practice dan you nak charge orang, you kena go for PEPC lah. Okay. And engineering consultancy practice is basically consultant lah. So yang terdiri daripada sole, partnership ataupun body corporate. Dalam ECP ni, Engineering Consulting Practice, mesti ada PEPC. Okay, so contohnya kalau you kenal macam konsultan-konsultan besar Malaysia, maybe macam Runhill, Wally, MMC kan, MMC bawah Tan Sri Bukhari tu, Teknip, Sapura Kencana Consultant, bukan. Sapura ada engineering consultant arm juga lah. So these are the big ones lah, Teknip, Toyo. So these are all the many kinds of engineering consultancy practice lah. So dalam dos engineering consultancy practice akan ada a certain amount of PEPC lah. So this page here basically nak bagi tahu, once you grad, you kerja sebagai, you practice any professional engineering service, you kena register. Sama ada sebagai GE, PE ataupun PEPC lah. Okay. Woi, keempat lah. Tak masuk ke? Baru BM. Okay lah. Saya tak